Health Minister Dr. Joe Phaahla says the Omicron variant is now firmly established across most of the country. In a briefing this morning, he also pointed out that the numbers have exceeded the peaks seen in previous waves, with many provinces yet to reach the worst of the Omicron wave.
The province is still reporting the highest number of new cases per day. The numbers have risen rapidly, especially in the coastal provinces, but all 9 provinces have seen a rise. And this is resulting in where, as of yesterday, for instance, Gauteng accounted for only 25% of new infections. Now, this is compared to around 7 to 10 days ago, where Gauteng was accounting for 70 to 80% of the new infections. The number of cases in the 4th wave have exceeded the peaks of the 3rd, the 2nd, and the 1st waves, with a weekly average new infections of more than 37 per 100,000 of population, while the peak of the 3rd wave was at 33 per 100,000.
Minister Phaahla added that the recovery rate remains high at 91%, and while hospital admissions are up, there's more to the numbers overall.
At the end of the 3rd wave, we were really rock bottom in terms of hospital admissions. Now, this has been now rising rapidly. Over the last 7 days, we have seen a 70% rise in hospital admissions, though in absolute numbers, as I've mentioned, it's a high percentage because we come from a low base. But in terms of absolute numbers, we're still at a fairly low level, just over 7,600 patients admitted as a result of COVID.
Our reporter Heidi Giokos has been following that briefing for us. Heidi, good morning. We've given little snippets of what the minister had to say. What were the other major takeaways from this morning?
So I think the key message, and many are actually having a laugh at this, but I think it's a message that government has been trying to get across for some time now. It is jab before you jive. So the Department of Health is saying this festive season, if you have not been vaccinated yet, perhaps you should consider doing this. And the reason why the message is to get vaccinated is because over 70% of those that are currently hospitalized due to COVID-19 are unvaccinated, or 40% of those hospitalized only have 1 dose of the vaccine that's being administered in the country at the moment. So the message is very clear from the Department of Health. Vaccinations are preventing severe COVID-19, which is hospitalization and death, and the hospitalizations that are being recorded are linked to the fact that people are unvaccinated. There was a worrying trend with regards to those under the age of 5 being hospitalized. And what's interesting here is that during the 2nd and the 3rd wave, just 5% of those the teenagers and those who are under the age of 5 were being hospitalized during the 2nd and 3rd wave. But now during the 4th wave, it's over 20% that you are seeing this worrying trend. And that's got to do a lot with because they are more susceptible and because they are not vaccinated. So this is the key message from the Department of Health. It looks like a better picture this time around because of the fact that we are vaccinating and hospitalizations aren't so severe as during the 2nd and the 3rd wave. What's also key here, Taps, is the fact that the eNCA will meet either on Monday or Tuesday to consider further data and analysis with regards to the Omicron variant. We know it's highly transmissible, but the reason why government announced yesterday that they're keeping the country on adjusted alert level 1 is because the worrying trend is not necessarily because it's highly transmissible, but the fact that it's our hospitalization and death rates is a lot lower, which doesn't put strain on the hospitals and healthcare facilities. So we'll see next week what the department says and what the eNCA decides on. But the department saying it's the responsibility of each individual to act responsibly this festive season.